Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, the world's leading authority on childcare marketing, mindset, expansion, and profitability. Our host, Brian Duprey, is the world's most sought-after childcare coach, having helped tens of thousands of childcare owners from around the globe take their business to the next level. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, our host, Brian Duprey.
Hello, welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast Training Series. I'm your host, Brian Duprey. Thank you for coming to another amazing episode. We've got a good training lined up today. With me, I have a co-host today, Nick Raptis. Nick is on the team at Childcare Genius. Nick, how you doing today?
I'm great. I'm doing well today. How are you doing?
Awesome. Well, Nick is a social media manager here at Childcare Genius, and I asked Nick to come on our training podcast today. We're going to talk a little bit about Facebook posts and should you boost a post or should you just run an ad, which is better? So we're going to give some tips and tools in that. And Nick has been on our team for a few months now, but he's getting close to a year now, probably by now, Nick.
9 months.
9 months. All right, time flies.
Nick
was a speaker at our Childcare Genius Conference live in Las Vegas. And he's going to be speaking at our conference in Montego Bay, Jamaica here next month or in a month and a half. We're excited about that, Nick. And you have great content. You do great work. You're actually living this summer in Europe. So tell a little bit about our audience where you're at right now.
I'm currently in Greece. So I'm back in my dad's village. My dad was born in a small little village next to the city of Patras. So I'm living my best life. I'm 5 minutes from the beach. I have internet access. I'm super grateful to be here, staying in my grandparents' house. I just actually had lunch with my grandfather. He's 96 years old and he eats like a 17-year-old boy. So, I'm loving being here with my family. It fills my heart with lots of joy. So I'm super excited to be here and working really hard, but the perks of working remotely are definitely great.
Well, I think you're doing it backwards because you're Canadian, you live in Canada, and you're going to be back to Canada for the winter. You needed to flip that around, Nick, and be in Greece in the summertime, or no, be in Greece during the Canadian winter, I think. But maybe you love snow. I don't know.
I lived in Montreal for 10 years before I moved back to Vancouver. I'm well aware of the harsh winters of the snow and the minus 15, minus 20. So for me now, I'm loving being here in Greece with the nice warm weather.
True. Well, I love that you could work remotely. You do great work. So today we're going to talk about Facebook ads versus boosting posts. So tell our audience a little bit about the difference between the two and what should you do and shouldn't you do?
Right. So essentially Facebook has two main methods of advertising. So Facebook, you sign up for free, and because you sign up for free, Facebook basically, the only way that they can make money is through their ad spend, their ad revenue, and people like you spending the money advertising on their platform. So their bread and butter is advertising. Now, there's two different ways to advertise on Facebook from a business standpoint. The first one is boosting a post. So if you see when you post something on Facebook, you'll see in the bottom, you can boost this post, or what they call now, they changed it to promote it. So promoting a post basically is a really straightforward, simplistic way in which you can increase the exposure and the reach meaning how many people can see that ad versus how many people you already have following your page. So these are people that are not currently engaged with your Facebook page or have any association. You want to reach more people. So it's a very straightforward way to reach more people. It's very effective, it's simple and easy to use. You pay to increase reach, essentially what that is. So when you do that, it's a quick setup. So it requires minimal effort. So anybody who's learning Facebook ads, who wants to get in the game, put a little skin in the game, it's a very, very easy way for you to do it. You choose your audience, you set a budget, you set a specific duration, and it makes it ideal for beginners. However, there is limitations with that. So anything that's easy is limited, right? You have limited targeting options. It allows you specific demographics, specific interests, specific behaviors, but they're limited compared to what a Meta Business Suite or the Business Manager can do. It's restrictive in that mindset. So it's really dependent upon your business goals, what you want to get out of it, because Facebook is very straight and black and white. If you pay for reach, it's going to get you reach. If you pay for engagement, it's going to get you engagement. So you have to be very careful what you tell Facebook, because that's what you're paying for, right? It's an automated tool, automated machine, right? There is no gray area when it comes to Facebook ads, unless you had a little bit high level, little bit of ad strategy and play within that. But for our purposes, for our audience, there are limitations. And also the biggest limitation, and why I personally don't like boosting posts on a consistent basis, is because the primary goal is engagement. So when you boost a post, the aim is to engage, increasing the likes, the comments, the shares, and the overall visibility of that post. So think about it as a signpost outside of your business, and you go from a signpost to a billboard, right? That billboard is down the street and a few people can see it, versus you take your advertising, you put it in a magazine, and it goes to the rest of the community if you're living in a small town, to have an old school kind of analogy, right? So it basically amplifies the content that is already performing well organically, right? That's what boosting posts does. So it increases engagement on a specific post. It promotes timely content. Now, that timely content, you can boost posts if you have, like, for example, an open house, any special event that you want, any announcement that you want to get it quick. It reaches a broader audience quickly with minimal effort. So that's where you can actually maximize and get use out of that boosting posts, versus running an ad campaign. So running an ad campaign, essentially what that does, it's an advanced customization and control, right? You can set multiple ad sets. So if you were in Vegas in my presentation, I had talked about, the different levels of ad campaigns, and the ad set is in the middle. This is where you create your audience. So your audience, you have detailed targeting and segmentation. For example, you set demographics, you can set interests, you can set behaviors, you can set location. So we have clients that have multiple locations, multiple different states. So it's very intuitive how to target. If you have multiple centers, I have a center in this town and I have a center, 20 miles away. How do I effectively advertise in those two different locations? It's set by you drop a pin and you set a radius, versus boosting posts. They don't have that capability to that in depth, right? So think of it as a step up, right? And also the big key, remember how I said that the primary objective of boosting a post is engagement. The primary objective of of running an ad in the ad campaign, there's multiple. You can have brand awareness, which is similar to boosting a post, but you can also have objectives such as get more traffic. I want to drive more traffic to your website. Okay, so in social media landscape that pertains to our businesses, you have a beautiful website you have engagement from social media that drives to that beautiful website that then converts into a tour. And even still, you get the parent to the door, and it's up to you to make sure that your staff knows what you're doing when you're in the tour. We can get that prospecting parent to the door, but then it's up to you to carry through, right? So these are the tools that you need to be thinking about, because 99% of your target audiences are on mobile phones, on the internet, or tech savvy. So I like to look at it like this. There's multiple layers. If your website is great, your social media presence is on point, you have branding, a parent comes to you on Facebook, they see the ad. Wow, I really am interested in this school. I really want to enroll my kid. I go to the website and the website isn't up to par. You already lost a potential client. You already lost a prospecting parent, right? Same with a Facebook ad. You can have a beautiful website, but if you're not conveying your messages right, then you're not going to get that person to even go to your website. So you're going to spend all this time, energy, and effort into building a beautiful website, and you have no one there. It's covered in trees. Like that, what your website is a house, and it's covered in trees. Social media is the gardener that comes and cuts the trees so that when a car passes by, you're like, oh, they know how, like that house looks really good. They take care of their lawn. I want to go over there, right? I want to drink some lemonade. I want to buy, I want to engage with that, right? And it also has comprehensive budget options. So getting back to the ad campaign, essentially you can set two different types of budgets. You can set a daily budget or a lifetime budget. So for example, if you have a budget of $10 a day, Facebook will only spend that amount per day. So it'll bid for you, and it'll make sure that your ads are seen up to that budget, competing with other ads. Or you can send a lifetime budget where I want to promote a conference, or I want to promote an open house. And I know that this open house or this special event is in 3 weeks. So I want to set a lifetime budget of $100 out throughout that time. That's how much I'm going to spend for that duration. So there's more flexibility in an ad campaign in Meta Business Suite than there is with boosting a post. And on top of that, there's also detailed analytics and reporting. So yes, you can look at a very minor analytics when you boost posts, but the detailed reporting that you get from a business manager it will give you more in depth. It'll tell you what's going per ad, what's working. You can look, if say, for example, you run a video ad. When you go into Facebook Ads Manager, you can look at that single ad. You can see exactly when the viewership dropped off. So for example, when I'm analyzing a video for my creativity, I'll go in and I'll see the first 3 seconds, they were at 90% viewpoint. Then it dropped off. Then I can cross-reference the creative to say, okay, what's working, what's not? And then the next round, I can improve upon that. You can't get that level of detail with boosting posts, right? The click-through rate, which means how many people click on the actual ad, like the rate, conversion rate, impressions, those kind of things you can see on boosting posts, but it's not as intuitive, and you can't get the full picture unless you have, more data and basically a better tool. So to run an ad in the ad campaign, essentially what it does is it drives traffic to your website or your landing page. It can generate leads and sales. It can promote brand awareness with a specific audience in mind. And you can do all sorts of variations. If you have an app install or video views, you can get all the analytics. You can conduct A/B testing, which is what I do on a daily basis. I look and I see what's working, because that feedback allows my creativity to be better. So that's an important part of my creative process too. 99.9% of my creative process is design work, but that 10%, that 1% of analytics allows me to navigate the ship. If I'm a navigator on a ship, I know where I'm heading based off that analytics, right? So that's how I kind of want to, that's how you want to look at these kind of things, right? And it also depends on your goal, right? What should you choose? What's right for you? Well, what's your business goal? What do you have in mind? What's your budget? If you have ample amount of budget to spend, Facebook can be effective. But also if you have a very small budget and you have a constraint, Facebook can also be a great tool, because you can get results with a decent budget. So a lot of our clients have healthy budgets. But again, it depends what you want. If you want to boost a post, it's really quick, straightforward, simple. I want to boost engagement. Think of boosting posts, promoting posts as someone standing outside your center with flyers saying, here, come to my event, come to my open house, going to your local grocer, going to your local, dentist, whatever the case may be, and putting up signage. That's the old school way of what boosting a post versus running an ad campaign is you go to the local newspaper, you say, I want to put an ad in a magazine, you want to put an ad on TV, and there's more engagement, more involvement in that process. So those are the two very high level, perspectives that I have in understanding, the nuances and approaches to boosting a post versus running an ad campaign. And again, it's ultimately dependent upon, what kind of strategy you want to advertise your business. Because in 2024, we're almost at 2025. In a 2025 market, if you don't have a website that's readable, navigatable, mobile friendly, and you don't have some sort of advertising budget, you're already falling behind, right? You're already falling behind. The bare minimum is to have some sort of online presence. Because if you're not competing in the market has changed, you're going to die. It's the digital Darwinism 101, right? You have to constantly try and improve. And you can do it slowly. You don't have to go and hire these massive agencies. You can literally, there's tools that you can use to understand. And then once you reach a point of critical mass where your centers are growing, your businesses are growing, then you can scale up. You can ask for help, right? It's a wonderful tool that I use. And again, you want to maximize your return on investment. So if I invest $10 to boost a post, I know what I'm going to get. If I invest $10 in an ad campaign, I might get more ad spend and more bang for my buck for me because I understand the tools that I'm using. So part of this podcast right now is to make you aware of there are other avenues of advertising and other ways that you can promote your center.
So if you're listening to this at home and you like, you know what, I don't want to take 100 hours to figure Facebook out on my own. We do this for you. So Nick is our social media manager. He handles ads campaigns for people. As you can see, he knows his stuff. So if you go to our website at childcaregenius.com, go to the marketing tab, say I'd like a free coaching call with you, Brian. And what I'll do is I'll talk about this marketing plan with you, and we'll share with you how we can help you. Nick gave you some tips today. You could do this yourself, but again, you also can to diagnose your own heart condition, and that's not always a good thing. Sometimes you need a professional to navigate this, and sometimes you save money by hiring somebody else to do it right the first time. But anyway, we hope we gave you some tips and tools. Nick, thank you so much for taking your time today. If we could help you in any way, go to childcaregenius.com. We got plenty of resources on there as well. But we'd love to help you. If this is an area where you don't have the expertise, let experts like Nick help you, and we can help you. So reach out to childcaregenius.com or email me at brian@childcaregenius.com. Thank you, Nick, for taking the time. Go back and enjoy the beach. Enjoy the rest of your day. Give my best to your grandfather, and we'll see you in Jamaica in a couple weeks, buddy.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Child Care Genius Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help grow your child care business. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Child Care Genius community.